Alright guys, another Sombra video, rewind, that's what I meant, another rewind video here. This one, again, focusing on Sombra. A lot of the meta at this point is around the top teams. When they're doing tactical things, is a lot about kind of the Sombra plays with each other. This one on Anubis is from the semifinals of Contenders, eUnited Laser Kittenz. And in classic rewind fashion, this is a tiny, tiny little moment that had a massive impact on the game. And missed by pretty much everybody, I think, as to what actually happened. So, this is the current situation. You're in the third map. This is right at the beginning as well. eUnited, Laser Kittenz, Anubis. Neither team really knows what the other's going to run, other than what they've been able to glean from VODs or scrims or whatever. But they haven't had any rounds on Anubis yet. Laser Kittenz going to start with this triple DPS plus the Sombra. So, more like a quad DPS kind of strategy. And it's hyper aggressive in that sense. The surprise factor is fairly large. They're aiming to catch people off guard and just kind of burst them down really quickly. They don't really have much stability in any of the fights, so they really need to work on the attacker's advantage, the spawn advantage, and keep going forwards. Maybe catch a couple of the tanks off. So they managed to find Sharik and Unfixed really quickly. And the other thing to note as well is that, of course, with Anubis, they're going for this snowball effect. So really, Anubis is not about point A. It's much more about point B. And teams, you know, if they're not running these kind of compositions, then more and more of the time, teams will start banking up massive amounts of ultimates before they attack the first point. And they're not going to use these ultimates for the first point. They're actually going to use as little as possible to be able to get a decent fight on the first point. Bait the defensive team into using more than they do and be able to then snowball that into second. And really, that ultimate bank is for second, and they'll try and use as few of them as possible in capturing first. But of course, on the first fight, you can generate a snowball without your ultimates, because if you're able to get the fight, you force the enemy onto the back foot, and you're generating more ultimates just because you've won the only fight that there has been so far. So in this one, the snowball is to do with the Sombra and the control of the health kit on point B. So they managed to get the hack onto Unfixed. See, they got the hack onto Unfixed, and they're able to demech him really quickly. That then gives them the pick onto Sharik as well, and Morte was playing aggressively forward with them, trying to give them heals in that forward position. So they managed to pick him as well. The fight doesn't last long enough for them to be able to take advantage of Boombox's hacked HP kit, kind of up on the top left there. You know which one I'm on about. And Laser Kittenz, I mean, it's reasonably close, this fight, but because of the attacker's advantage, they're going to be able to win it. Okay, so Grey dies there as well. So Grey's going to be respawning back into this fight. And he's only at 50%. Boombox is at 52%. There's no snowball developing yet.
Nearly immediately, the Cruise with the quick shuriken to the head for Grey, and Boombox.
And eUnited are in a position where they can come back into this one. Unfixed and Valutage are getting late spawns, but they're fairly mobile characters. They'll be able to get back in the fight, but that puts a lot of pressure on Sharik, actually, to re-engage, because he's not going to have the D.Va with him. But they definitely want to fight this one again, because there's still 2 players down. You know, it's still a reasonably even fight if Sharik can get a decent engage. He comes in, and he's instantly taken down to half health. There's a very good focus fire coming down from Laser Kittenz. I think it's Krems and Kib that are doing the majority of the damage here, but I think he goes past Mausasa, who does a lot of damage to him as well. So huge amount of damage coming into Sharik, as well as into Morte in just a second, as soon as this barrier disappears. And have a look at Grey here and the decision he makes.
They're going in already again.
So here's Grey, and he's just respawned in this fight. So again, I mean, Unfixed is here and has only just spawned to be able to come into the fight with Valetaja. So it wasn't like, I mean, they could have potentially held off and waited for Unfixed to come in and try for a much better engage where he's actually got the defense matrix, so Sharik doesn't get focused down so quickly. But they decided to go in a little earlier, before 2 of the players had come back in. I believe that was Munchkin and Grey, who've only just got into the fight, because they were kind of fairly late deaths in the first one. And instead of that, they decide to engage. They come in, and Grey is a late kind of entry into this fight. He wasn't required to hack Sharik or Unfixed to be able to get the early fight, to get the early advantage in this fight. They've already done it anyway. So Grey just decides, mate, this fight's pretty much won. I think we've captured point A. So because Anubis snowballs are so incredibly important, I'm going to sneak around behind and hack the lower health kit on B, which is more and more popular now for attacking Sombras to do. That lower health kit on B is the most important health kit in the whole of Anubis, and having control of that gives you a massive advantage in any fight that happens. So Gray is going to go invisible now. He's going to sneak behind unfixed, and he's going to go back into this fight. And he goes here, and he's going to hack the health kit. And the rest of his team gets this kill, gets this capture on point A, and is going to be able to go forwards. But actually, you'll see in a second that Gray didn't get the hack. And the snowball here is massive. Like, the potential for a snowball is great. And Gray's decision making is great, as Monty and Dora are saying now. Yeah, but actually it is under their Sombra's control. And you'll see now that as Valitaja comes down underneath, this is under eUnited's control. So Gray didn't actually get the hack off. So what the hell went wrong for him? Because it was looking like it was excellent, right? And it makes a big difference who's in control of this. Let me see if I actually remember where we're rewinding to. Is that too early? No, this is perfect. Okay. So, there we go. Gray translocates to the top. Sharek's already taken tons of damage. Let's mute you for a second. And Gray realizes that the fight's going well. You know, they've already got 2 picks. There's no way that eUnited's going to be able to come back into this one. The entirety of Laser Kittenz are here. They've got the position. They've got, like, a lot of DPS. They don't really need the tanks to contest that much if they've got position for all the DPS heroes. And so Gray goes behind here. And you can see that, remember, Unfixed and Valitaja were the late ones into the fight. Sharek and Morte were early, but they've both died. Cruz is still in the fight, hanging around somewhere around this bottom ledge area, I think. So Boombox is the only one unaccounted for here, and you will actually see that he was the latest death in the first fight from eUnited. Got picked off by Kib really late, and so he started rolling out towards the left hand side here, and you can see him there. As he's rolling out towards the left, he's like taking this route, going towards point A. And I think that what's going through Boombox's head here probably is similar to what's going through Gray's, i.e. the point on A is bust. There is no point in me going and trying to help the rest of my team. This is gone. The comms within eUnited are probably, right, leave point A, focus on point B. So now he turns around to actually deal with the B kit at roughly the same time as Gray does, actually. And so you see, let me just wind this back just a tad, just a touch. Okay, so you see Gray come up to it, and you hear a hacking noise. You hear a hacking noise there, and it doesn't quite make sense with how quickly everything is happening, because he's still at the top of the ridge when that actually happens, Gray. And so this isn't actually Gray hacking the health kit. This, as you can see in the top right hand side here, is actually Boombox has decided to turn around, not help his team on A, and play this defensively, realizes the value of the B health kit at almost exactly the same time as Gray does. Boombox turns around, gets the hack onto Gray as he's walking along, and Gray then, realizing that he's going to lose that 1v1, lose control of the health kit, and just feed ultimate charge over inevitably, both through the damage that he does that's then going to be healed up from Boombox, and the damage that Boombox does over to him. Instead, Gray recalls and translocates, and translocates back up top there without hacking that lower health kit, and Boombox is actually able, you can see him there behind Munchkin's lovely face, is going to be able to get the hack on that lower health kit. So Boombox there is a late death, realizes that the fight's gone, at the same time as Gray realizes the fight's gone, and this meta game happening between the Sombras in their head. Boombox either realizes that Gray's going to go for it, or just wants to get it off really quickly before Gray can have any opportunity to contest it. Turns around, realizes he's almost too late, and Gray's almost there. Starts the hack onto him. Gray's just about to get hacked, translocates back just in time before the hack actually comes off, and gives Boombox control of the point. And that has a massive effect towards the latter end of this fight as well, because if Laser Kittenz have control of that health kit as well as the ultimates that they have here, I think they're in a great position actually to be able to take this. And instead they don't quite make the snowball work as as they would want it to, and this fight ends up taking a lot longer. So I just thought that it was a really cool moment, actually, between these two teams and the two Sombras happening on Anubis, like hacking an enemy Sombra just to make it translocate away so that you've got control of Anubis B. I think is pretty aware